Give me coffee in the morning, gotta have the coffee. Wake me up, shake me up, dip me like a lassie. One sip, two sips, and I'm feeling so alive. Coffee in the morning, it's the best way to survive. Woke up in the morning, sleepy eyes yawning. Jumped out of bed, started the day, opened the curtains. Felt the cool breeze, the sun shining on my face. But something was missing, I needed my job to chase. Give me coffee in the morning, give me coffee in the morning, gotta have the coffee. Wake me up, shake me up, dip me like a lassie. One sip, two sips, and I'm feeling so alive. Coffee in the morning, it's the best way to survive.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome in, everybody. Y'all know the routine. Grab your coffee, your tea, whatever your morning vice might be, and get on in here with me. We've got a lot to unpack, as usual, on a Monday morning. Welcome in. Good to see everybody for coming in to join us, and we'll see who comes in a few minutes. Butterfly, Rachel, and Forrest, my amazing mod team. Thank you for being here. Well, thank you, Forrest, on the thumbnail. You're the second person to compliment me on the thumbnail this morning, so I appreciate that because I put thought into that thing this weekend, guys. I was lazy this weekend. I'm like, I'm just going to sit here and fool around with this thumbnail situation. Welcome in, Dandy. Welcome in. All right, guys, we are going to unpack some of what's been going on over the weekend and a couple of other cases we're following. We got some updates to talk about, some of them major, some of them not. Having my morning coffee and getting ready for my day. Y'all know I can't talk right first thing in the morning. Well, I've been up for a little while, so I really shouldn't have any excuses, huh? Lord, y'all, there's been a lot going on out there on them social media streets, I should say, with this singer David. I don't even like, it's more about the victim in the case, right, than it is this singer guy. But boy, oh boy, there's been a lot pushed out there, a lot being said, a lot was coming at me fast over the weekend, and I'm like, hold up, put the brakes on, pause, because I don't even know if half this stuff being slung at me right now is true, right? There's a lot being said out there on them TikToks, but it was that way during Idaho 4. It's not a shocker to me, so I'm super careful about where I get my news. Take it all with a grain of salt. The second I look at something, I'm like trying to back it up, right? I need receipts. I don't need a cute little TikToker to come out for 5 seconds and say, here's the deets. Trust me. And there we go. I got all the deets. Right? No, ma'am. Excuse me. We're about to go back that up and try to corroborate what you just said. So I really didn't do a lot of that this weekend because I know there's no point. I'm waiting on, trying to find facts and evidence we're not going to get a lot of because it's such a preliminary thing. But we're going to take a look at a few things here, see if we can't figure some things out. Yeah, it's hard to decipher what's real and what's rumor, Woozy. A lot of it, some of it is rumor, some of it is speculation, and I've got no problem with speculating. Y'all know that. One thing is clear to me. I got a message. People knew this young girl was with this grown man. Hold on. Hmm. Okay. So I had to check a message. So anyway, it appears to me a lot of people knew this girl knew this guy and knew that she was with him, including maybe her family. Why is her brother coming out here making statements that they didn't know where this child was for a solid year? How can he come out here and tell you anything about his sister, who she was with, and what she was doing for the past year if the family wasn't aware of where this child was? So I can sit here and scream about all them crazy TikToks and look at all them pictures, they're together. I got questions for the adult who was in charge of the child. I'm going to go there. I'm willing to go there. All right. Good morning, Joy, with your sunshine full of name. Her sunshine, her joy, it all comes out in her name. I love it. Every time I see Joy, I'm like sunshine and joy. I don't know why it's my first thought. Two of my favorite things, sunshine and joy. God, I woke up this morning in Florida cold. If that's any indication of how my winter is going to go, I'm going to be a miserable cow all winter long, and I'm going to try to contain my complaining because no one likes a complainer, especially about the weather. God, y'all's fall weather, sweater weather, pumpkin stuff. I'm like, no, make it stop. I shouldn't be cold on a breezy September. I had to check. Am I still in September? Feels like October out there, and I'm not caring for it at all. I don't like it when October comes. That just means the colder months are coming, and I just got to get all mentally prepared for it. It is what it is. All right, guys. So let's get this show on the road. Speak of the thumbnail. So we got a little bit of an update on Idaho 4, very small, very minor. We got a little bit of a Mickey Steins update, and it's almost well, it's not funny, but it's almost laughable to me knowing what we know. And this week, guys, we are going to, starting tomorrow, I'm going to kick off Delphi. And I haven't talked to Delphi in a really long time because there was nothing in Delphi that I wanted to talk about. Like nothing. I need a court document, I need some evidence, I need some exhibits, I need something to dig into other than he said, she said, rumor, we're going to fight today on the internet because we don't like each other and whatever that weirdness is. I don't do any of that. So I always said, you give me something that I can get into, we'll go talk Delphi again. And it's that time. Boy, is it time. There's a deposition. There's so much that's coming down now because we're finally getting discovery dumps in this case. Well, now the man's finally been convicted. Secret, everything done in the dark over there in Delphi, everything from the 3 arrests to the trial, all the things. Now we're getting some information. So tomorrow we're going to start with unpacking a deposition of a guy named B. Holder. The name is out there. It's been out there for several years. I don't have a desire to end up in the court documents like some people I've been reading about. So we're going to call him BH. We're going to start unpacking some of that this week. What do you? I'm reading y'all's comments. "47 degrees, Rachel. Goodness. I'd be like, where's my winter coat? Oh, where's the heater? Where's the heat? I'm not looking forward to have to get out all the heat. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, ugh, whatever. Maybe I'll just build like an endless fire in the backyard and that's where I'll stay. We'll see. Fall's okay for a little while, you know what I mean, when it feels good outside, but what, about 2 weeks worth for me, and I'm done. I'm like, can I have my summer back now, you weirdos? All right. Some people love the cold weather. My kiddo is one of those people. All right. So let me start with we're going to start with a little bit of the Idaho 4. Now, nothing new has come down as far as unsealed documents. I checked this morning. Their deadlines are up. They got in their other filings about what they want redacted and what they don't. So they're going to be moving through that next batch of documents. They're doing about 48 at a time. So they should be getting some more of those down. I'd say within the week we should have some more of those documents to unpack. But for now, there's nothing there. But what we will talk about is that little Dateline leak, the little leak that never seems to want to go away. I'm sure that they would like it to go away. How much does it matter now? Somebody's still in trouble. Now, would it have mattered a lot if we had went to trial? I don't know. Would Anne have continued to make it a big deal about this is why my jury pool is tainted because of that little Dateline situation? Ma'am, have you ever watched Dateline? They leak all kind of stuff, right? This ain't the first rodeo. Koberger's nobody's special. People are getting triggered all over the place. Daybell's triggering me. Valo's triggering me. Koberger's triggering me. Delphi, y'all are triggered that easily. It might be time to step away from true crime, period. Right? They don't trigger me. I don't allow them to. Why would I give them that kind of control and energy over me, right? I don't give it to you. You have no power here. Sit down with your fool self. All right. I'm going to pull up an article. We're going to take a look at that. And then Anjanette Levy did an interview with Baby Lawyer. For those of you who don't know, Baby Lawyer, that's not being derogatory, but that's what we called Ashley Jennings, the prosecutor over there in Idaho, because she was the baby lawyer. So Anjanette did an interview with her and I'm sorry, I'm looking for something. I'm talking to you guys and reading something at the same time. That may not be a good idea. So Anjanette did an interview with the prosecutors from Idaho, and we're not going to watch that whole thing. It's kind of boring to me. I got the standard issue statements that I don't care to hear because blah, 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 right? But they touch on the leak situation. We're going to play a clip from that. Why do I accidentally have Rex Heuermann stuff over here in my Idaho thing? Girl, what are you doing to yourself? Okay, prison leak video. And no, I hadn't been out there trolling the streets to see what everybody and their brothers saying about Brian Koberger and getting all side. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to affect me at all or change my mind. So I have no desire to talk about what Tom, Dick, and Harry's out there saying and doing. Irrelevant. Share screen. Okay. Now, we all know they launched the investigation and everything. The judge got big mad and he put that order to preserve everything in. Don't destroy any of your emails, texts, nothing. We want to find out who did this. Okay. So we know that he was sentenced to the multiple life terms. We're not going to rehash what we know. The source of a security footage leak. Now, this is the one with the prison. Remember the prison video? So we got two different leak situations. We got the prison video leak that they're still investigating, and then we have the Dateline leak they're still investigating. This piece pertains to the video, and all this is kind of still ongoing. Will they ever find the prison leak? Do we care? The source of a security footage leak of Brian Koberger, and this article just came down like, a couple days ago? Let me see. To give you guys the 18th. So yeah, just a couple days ago. So this is an updated article. Although it doesn't give us any information, we don't know what happened. The source of a security footage leak of Brian Kohberger in an Idaho prison cell remains undiscovered a month after videos of the man convicted of killing 4 university students were published online in violation of Idaho Department of Correction policy. Wah, wah, wah. Keep a loaded 44 sitting by the bed. Got creepers and jeepers who ain't right in the head. Prison leaders pledged in August to root out the individual or individuals. And it looked like the person who recorded the video did so from their phone, recording the monitor that it was being displayed on. Like, they weren't standing in the corner outside the cell recording Kohberger. They were recording the monitor. All right, so they're looking for the person or persons responsible for the security through an investigation of its correction staff at Idaho's maximum security prison. The leak represents a clear violation. What he did was a clear violation of people's right to live. Oh, they could be fired or charged with a crime. Oh, is you gonna try to make us pay? Like this stupid Idaho statements. How statesman? You can read our article today, but you can't read it tomorrow. And I'm not paying y'all to read your goofy little article. Videotaping and publicly sharing security footage is prohibited conduct, and we will be reviewing all legal options, including criminal prosecution, the prison system said in a statement last month. So they're still trying to get to the bottom of who caused that. We're going to take a look now and see what Bill Thompson has to say about the Dateline leak. How do you guys feel about Dateline leaking stuff like that, or law enforcement possibly doing it? Did anybody believe at any point it could have been a member of the defense? I did. I considered it. I mean, I can't take anything off the table, especially in Idaho 4. Just because you work for the defense for one moment, right, Cyree, don't mean you're going to the next moment. You might have changed your mind during the course of the discovery dumps. I don't know. What if if it was a prosecutorial side, if it was a defense side, was it law enforcement? How much of that really matters? How could have it, how could it have messed things up? Yeah, Dandy, you would think it's pretty easy to figure out who did that exactly. Who was on shift? Who was working? Who was clocked in during that time frame, right? When Kohberger's in there whapping down his shoes. It shouldn't be that hard to figure it out. And it honestly shouldn't be hard to figure out who did the Dateline leak. You think the investigators have went and spoke to the producers at Dateline? There was a law back in the early 80s. Huge deal in the early 80s. I mean, it was a huge deal. Go research it. Media and their sources. Do they have to name them? That was a big dogfight in the early 80s. And guess what? No, you don't. It's protected. People are starting to be whistleblowers in the early 80s. Investigative reporting was a thing, a real thing. Oh, and y'all got what kind of information? Where'd you get it? They're like, wouldn't you like to know? People wouldn't come forward if media was forced to give up their source, right? No one's going to come forward in the future if we start doing that. So I don't know how much trouble will somebody be in if they found out to be the leak. Have they interviewed the Gonzalez family yet? Because they were talking to a lot of people. It didn't matter if he was a cop, grand jury, YouTube, social media personality, a true crimer. You got some information, we'll talk to you. And then how many of y'all will go back and share my text messages publicly? Oh, wait, some of y'all gonna try to sell them too. Damn, you got snookered, Steve. You should have played it better. You should have been a little bit smarter, and you were warned, my man. You were warned 2 years ago. So you go do you, Bubba. Do you. All right, let me get this playlist up. And we'll take a look and see what the prosecutor had to say about the leak. I don't know if I believe him, right? If he's really concerned, or, whoops, was he really concerned? Is it just part of the show, right? Part of the show. All right, let me get the timestamp up that we need so we don't have to play the whole thing. Uh, 2625, okay. Ooh. What'd y'all do this weekend? Did y'all hang out and be lazy like me? Because that's exactly what I did. I didn't go anywhere. Well, Friday I went to my sister's for a little bit, but I just kind of piddled around the house being lazy. It felt good. I wasn't planning to be lazy. It just kind of worked out that way. Okay, here we go. Let me get the screen up. Let me get where we need to be. Well, that's a good point there, Dandy. Did the defense cause that leak hoping by doing so they could get, some of that stuff dismissed, right? Thrown out. You can't bring that into court now. Everybody knows about it. Would it have worked? That's a risk to take. Well, then again, apparently Ann took a lot of risk. My client is innocent, Your Honor. Look at him. Completely innocent. Oh, and by the way, we need the jury to know why he looks weird and why he's going to stare right through them all. Butterfly did her nails. Girl, if you could see mine right now, you would be like salty, 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 salty. This morning I was sitting here going, ew, I was a little too lazy on the weekend. Butterfly, I was a little too lazy. Rachel went to a football game. Yes, it was good to see everybody. Good deal. So I wasn't too lazy. I sat on my butt all day Saturday and co-hosted Joe's live stream. Friday night I did do Feral Friday. That was a blast. We watched a crazy, insane horror movie. Saturday Joe did a big show that we ended up doing like 5 hours. And Kresha came up and spoke, and that was a really good conversation that I had with her, and hopefully we're going to have something come up from that conversation, so I'll be talking to Kresha about that. But yeah, I ended up doing that. I didn't do my nails, though. All right, let's play Bill's piece and for a second here and see what he has to say about the little leaking situation.
How frustrating, I'll start with you, Ashley, and then I want to hear from you, Bill, was the Dateline special airing pre-trial, just weeks and weeks before jury selection, and kind of airing out a lot of things that you may have presented at trial?
It was incredibly frustrating. It was a big distraction. We were in full trial mode, preparing, and that was just another thing that kind of got added on for our office. It's unfortunate. We were disappointed.
Yeah. Bill, do you think that leak came from your side, and when I say not the state side, I mean like law enforcement, what have you? And we know there's an investigation underway, or at least we believe there is.
We don't know for sure. The information that was contained in the Dateline show that was accurate, and there was some inaccurate information as well that they included. The accurate information was known not just to members of the state's investigation team, but also members of the defense team. We have I think, a hard time wanting to accept that one or more of the state's investigators leaked this. But the bottom line is, if they did, then I want to know that. And I want to make sure that the appropriate consequences come into place. And that person will never be a law enforcement officer again. Likewise, if it didn't originate from somebody on the state's side, I think we need to know that as well. And that person or those persons need to be held to account. What happened was outrageously reckless. And I think the words disappointed and frustrated probably understate quite how I felt at the time. I probably used some shorter, more direct words about how I felt and how I.
Nah, Bill. Do we believe that, Bill, you did that? He used I cussed. I said, damn.
Still feel about it. And we've committed ourselves to cooperate in every possible way that we can to assist in identifying who's responsible if that happens. I truly hope it does. It was horrible. It was just completely inexcusable. It should have never happened. Completely irresponsible. That's the kind of thing that can derail the entire criminal justice system. Judge Hippler was rightfully very, very mad.
What did Dateline get wrong? You said they got some stuff wrong.
Uh-oh.
Well, I prefer not to say that right now because I don't want there to be generally publicly known what was right and wrong from our perspective.
Is that, sir, because it's all under seal still and you don't want to spill the beans about sealed stuff, or y'all just sidestepping the damn questions about your deranged killer? Again, nothing to see here. He just had a bad day. It was a one-off. Okay.
I think that's information that's going to be important to the investigation. So,
All right. Isn't the investigation closed?
as much as Ashley and I would love to sit down and just say, well, we went through it and here's what's correct and what isn't, that's something we can't do right now. Sorry.
Would you have been able to charge him?
I do not believe him. That's something we can't do right now. Sorry. Are you being cautious because you haven't unsealed a particular document stating what you're trying to sidestep there? I'm so tired of it. Why are people continuing to play with all these people in Idaho? And I watched Anjanette's YouTube show about this interview and how safe we really play it sometimes.
Even if you had found him through the White Elantra, needle in the haystack search, would you have been able to charge him without the sheath DNA?
We've talked about it and we haven't had to make that decision. Fortunately, we had the sheath DNA, which really was kind of the icing on the.
Okay, yeah, you had it. So I don't want to have a conversation about what if we didn't have the sheath DNA. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I feel like if we didn't, I'm not so sure there'd be a guy sitting in prison right now. What was there to cop to being in the neighborhood? Right? I mean, it's ridiculous. I can't. And when they want to come out and spew some truth and some knowledge and share what they know and share why WSU didn't do this, this, and this, and that. Oh, yeah, because y'all didn't have the years. All this nonsense. Come on. They treating us like we don't have any intelligence, and I don't like it when that starts happening. It's like, man, don't even play me with your weird stuff there. With your word salads. The judges. Look, it's gonna happen. It shouldn't have happened, but Brian Koberger wasn't the first under seal high-profile case, and he will not, I promise you, be the last. Can we talk about Delphi and sealing and unsealing and secrets and darks and scary thoughts? And yeah. We're going to talk about that this week because this guy, Koberger, right? all the problems that we want to pretend were happening in the Koberger case really existed over in Delphi, Indiana. And I don't know if it's because Rick Allen doesn't look like Koberger's weird eyeballs and why it's different. And please don't come at me. Well, he confessed, Salty. I know. But I know the backstory, do you? That's what you have to ask yourself. Do you have all the information? Do you got a little preliminary 5-minute report from the nightly news? Did you watch a heavily prosecutorial side live stream? Did you bother to go look at the other side just for a moment and see, like I do, is there anything to this? Let me go do my research now. So, I need more coffee. Y'all voting for Cyray? A lot of us wondered that, right? But, you know, Cyray could have went on his YouTube channel and been like, y'all, people, hold up. I reserved the right to change my mind, and boy, did I. He could have got like millions of views on that show. What you doing, Cy? I don't guess it was his miraculous little program that discovered this little discrepancy in the Koberger phone stuff that could prove his innocence, right? It wasn't nothing to do with Cyray's fabulous little programs over there. He was just going to tell you that the FBI cast was wrong, not that my program was better, and here's what I found out, sir. We'll see about that leak. Who gets in trouble, who don't? Will anything? Are they hoping that it'll just go quiet? We'll all forget about it, that kind of thing. Shh. Don't talk about it. It goes away. So let's move into Mickey Stein's and see why they're big mad over there. More and more women are speaking out. They're talking about their experiences. They're naming names. They're making accusations. There's a lot to get to and unpack with that case still. And I haven't forgotten. We started some of that last week, and we're going to continue that as well. Okay, so let me pull up this article. Now, some of you may remember us going over some of the players in the area, like the preacher man, Michael Clark of it all. He was the local preacher. He was in the video where Mickey shot the judge. He was in the video in the office prior to that. Michael Clark is also got a 20-year rap sheet. Bad guy turned good guy, all about the Jesus now, opens up this church, opens up ARC, all these rehabilitation facilities, that guy. And Mr. I got to do some research, but I think you've been showing naughty pictures of yourself to young girls, Mr. Clark. I haven't seen them to back it up. It is just not a direct accusation, but that's what I'm hearing. So none of us want to see that mess. And a lot of you men may end up getting naked photos of women, but not all women want to see that. I don't. Ugh. Okay. So this is an article that came down from the Mountain Eagle, and the Mountain Eagle is a local paper there in Whitesburg, Kentucky. Letcher County, Kentucky. Okay. Two say they've been followed and filmed by social media commentators. Oh, now. The second half of this story was inadvertently omitted from the newspaper. It appears here in its entirety. We apologize for any inconvenience. Whoa. The second half inadvertently was omitted from the newspaper. How in the world does that happen? At least 2 people have been the subjects of rumors surrounding Sean Mickey Stein's murder case, say they have been followed and filmed by social media owners. Letcher County jailer Brian Sloan, and boy, there's a lot of information out there about him. We ain't even begin to unpack him yet. And Letcher County jailer Brian Sloan and Michael Clark, a minister and former employee of Addiction Recovery Centers, which is the ARC, said they were followed and filmed. Videos of both appeared online. Sloan was filmed partly from inside a parked car as he walked down Main Street in Whitesburg to go to lunch. Sloan was appointed after the retirement of his brother Bert Sloan and is running for jailer in next year's election. We just gonna keep it real tight knit here. Bert, go call your brother. Is he busy? He said this week that he learned of the original video after someone else saw it. The video on his own Facebook page, along with a sarcastic response to it. So Bert Sloan, really? Let me go look. Because I didn't look for that yet. Sorry, guys. I went to Facebook, and the first thing I see is this kid covered in mud from the racetrack. I didn't go to the races this weekend. Okay, so we're going to look at Bert Sloan. Let me look at him real quick. I don't know if he's got his stuff locked down. He used to not. So I want to look at that. So he puts the video out on his Facebook page and he makes a sarcastic response to it. Okay, he said this week that he learned of the original video after someone shared it with him. I didn't even know it was out there, and a couple of people sent it to me, he said. The more I sat and thought about it, the more pissed off I got. Well, I wonder if some of them ladies are a little pissed right now that there's videos out there of them having relations with the jailer and the judge, allegedly. You got followed in a car down to the lunch, down the sidewalk, and that's a problem. I get it. Sloan said the morale of the jail staff is through the floor because of the rumors and adverse attention. He said a private investigator who says he's working for Stein's lawyers visited one employee's home, claiming to the man's wife that he has 100 women who say they were sexually assaulted by Judge Kevin R. Mullins. What? 100? 100 women who say they were assaulted by District Judge Kevin Mullins. Steins shot the unarmed judge to death in his chambers. The crime was caught on a security camera in the judge's office. Clark, who rode with Steins to deliver food to a house the morning of the shooting, has not talked to the media about his experiences before. Remember, we all know that Michael Clark, preacher man, was out helping Mickey deliver some Meals on Wheels before what happened to the judge in the chambers. Clark said he was followed to a rehab event more than 100 miles away this summer. I wonder why. And then video clips of his speech about his own past. I've seen about his own past and recovery from addiction were placed on the internet with negative commentary. Y'all haven't been saying negative things about these women? Even the current Commonwealth attorney? I can go pull that up and we'll see. They follow me to They followed me to Mount Sterling. You're talking 2.5 hours away just to record me and put that on the internet. That just goes to show the lengths these people are willing to go to hurt someone else's reputation and character by cutting up someone's testimony and commenting on it. We can't be cutting up that Jesus testimony. He also, and I'm not anti-Christ, I believe, he also has been accused, but I just don't do organized religion or fake religion. I draw the line. He has also been accused by people on social media of sending a video of himself. Oh, yes, sir, I heard about that. All right, let me start over. Big girl words are going to be used, guys, so take a sip of your coffee, but don't spit it out. He also has been accused by people on social media of sending a video of himself masturbating to women in drug rehab while they were in drug rehab. That's some shit right there, guys. I'm sorry. It's bad enough you're going to send them, but let me knock you while you're down. Hey, you're in the rehab. Let me send you. You want to get out today, baby? Look at this video. What you willing to do? Look at that. Oh, gross. Do these women still have those videos on their phone? Here's where I'm at with this case. We got to have some concrete evidence. It's one thing to have grown women come out and level accusations against grown men. How many of y'all were at the time a willing participant or will be considered a willing participant? Do we have any minors right now who are willing to say this has happened to them, or it was happening to me at the time of this event happened? We need minors. We need phone evidence. We need text messages. We need screenshot. We need the messages. We need these videos that were sent to people. It's come out and tell your story. All that is amazing. But if we can't, I'm not calling them liars, but in court, they're going to need something, right? So I hope that some of these girls have these videos on their phone and can prove that it came from him and he did that. Why would you do that? The video with a strategically placed image of a police bulletproof vest overlaid was then shown last week on social media by others. He closed out his social media last year after he said mental illness is real in a personal video about Steins. I saw that too. I might actually still have that. Okay. Yeah, he did. He put a little video out about mental illness is real and a personal video about Steins and Mullins, both of whom he said were friends. And I think it was the day after the crime he did that. Rumors of inappropriate contact with rehab clients began immediately after he posted his talk. So rumors of inappropriate contact with rehab clients, and remember, he's under a big investigation, right? The ARC people, the rehabilitation centers, FBI's got a whole thing about them, right? If you are a victim of ARC, if you feel you were a victim of ARC, please contact the FBI. So let me say that again. If you think you were a victim of addiction or recovery centers out of Kentucky, Letcher County specifically, FBI wants to talk to you. Okay. There is no truth to me having any appropriate relationship as far as a photographer or a video from my past. I don't know what is out there. Oh, you worried, my man. He's like, oh, I don't know what's going to surface from my past. I was a drug addict for 20 years myself. Hey, if you're in recovery and you're doing great, more power to you, but I don't know if you were. He said he had given no one permission to air any videos of him, saying that possession of such a video without his consent is a criminal offense. Kind of like my strobe being struck for playing that dude David's video without the music. I'm so over all you people. Don't show my face. Don't play my words. freedom of speech. What the world? What are you talking about? What is that? Clark declined to talk about his experience with Steins the morning of the shooting, saying he expects to be called as a witness in the murder trial and does not want to prejudice he doesn't want to prejudice a jury with anything he might say ahead of time. I found that comical. They don't give us potential jurors enough common sense, do they? No, we can't see it or hear it until we get to court, and whatever the judge allows in, that's what we get to look at. Whatever that judge says we get to look at, we do. Wow, guys, do y'all believe some of these accusations being leveled at the preacher man and others involved in the town? Do we think that it was this is all crazy talk and Mickey's just deranged? I see that all over the place. Oh, the judge was a good guy. Mickey lost his shit. That guy needs to be. We don't care to know why. Even if it was daughter having a relationship with a judge, wife having, I don't care. I got mad at you at lunch because you got my food and didn't give it to me. I don't know what his reasons would have been, but I want to know what the reason was, right? You don't watch that video of what happened and not go, what in the world am I seeing and why did that happen? Nobody just walks into someone's office and says, boom, 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 because I had a bad morning. I mean, yeah, we probably could. Y'all ever seen that show Snapped? I was watching it last night. I couldn't sleep, so I had to have something to listen to fall asleep to, and strangely enough, I listened to murders. So, yeah, Snapped it was, because it was convenient to the TV and I was lazy. I'm like, that'll work. Click play. All right, let me check something quick. Oh, Lord, what's the pharmacy letting me know about some flu vaccine? Ugh, I don't want to be sick. That's what scares me about winter the most. Having autoimmune disease, I could walk past you at the grocery store and I'm about to catch whatever you got. Ugh. Sunflower Soul, good morning. Good morning. Guys, if you would please hit the like button on your way in. Sorry, I was just looking at something on YouTube. Everybody's popping off with the same stories. Come on in, guys, and thank you for being here. Hit the like button and all the good things. Join the conversation. That's what I want you guys to do. Love the chatters. YouTube likes the chatting. It's good for the channel. It's good for you guys. I want to see your guys' comments. We are Coffee and Crime Conversations, right? We need to have a talk about it. So thank you guys for joining in. All right, we are going to all right, let me mark this off. All right, so we'll keep an eye on the Idaho Fort docket as it progresses and see what comes down the pike there. The Cellebrite people. Now, I do want to hold a members only live, and I'm collecting all of the different random videos and interviews with the Cellebrite couple in the Idaho Fort case, the Bernhardts, because they were just going around doing their little interviews and dropping tidbits and nuggets here and there. We also heard Heather say they had talked with the family members in the Gonzalez family, and they were going to be giving all they had to Olivia Gonzalez. I think they must have done that now, because they kind of went quiet for about 2 weeks. Now they've come out with a Cellebrite Google Drive dump. Remember all those pictures from Koberger's phone, all the selfies and checking out my butt in the mirror and going up to the hiking in the mountains, selfies in the car, all those photos. We were like, what's the date? When did this happen? When did that take place? They now have timestamps for all those photos. They're pretty much the same photos we have reviewed. Now we just have a little more context behind them with the timestamps. And so I've got a video I'm working on trying to match the dates with the photos, right? And keep it all in one cohesive little spot, little information for us. But I want to do a members only and go over all of the things that the Bernhardts have said pertaining to the phone. A lot of the stuff on the phone, information like the cast and all that's under seal still because it was part of the sealed documents. That's why we're not seeing that yet. These photos and all this stuff they had, that wasn't all under seal. So his flexing kills me, she says. What's he flexing for, right? And a lot of they said almost every single one of those photos he didn't even send to anybody. The selfies of Brian Koberger, like, ew, I never take a selfie of myself, so I don't get it, but hey. You think the whole town is corrupted, Riley? There's some decent people. There's good people in that town. There are people who got mixed up in a lot of bad things because of that town. And let's call them the town elders, because it started before Judge Mullins and Mickey Steins and Ben Fields. They were just the predecessors to what was already in place. Let's say it like that. You know what I mean? All right, my dog is scratching the back door. She wants to come in because a little while ago she's like, no, ma'am, I'm not doing that. It feels good out here. I'm going to grab fresh coffee, and we're going to come back and jump into this Celeste and David situation. This poor little girl. Lordy, lordy. 150 selfies, real happy. Come on, do you have how many do you guys have on your phone of yourself? I don't have any. I don't even think about it. I always thought it was so odd back in the day. Well, we can say back in the day now, when people were doing selfies and they're like all over Facebook, back when everybody just had Facebook. You're like, what are these people doing? And why are they making this strange face when they take their picture? Is that what we're supposed to do with these phones? That's the whole reason we have them, to take these odd bathroom pictures. And not just everybody, everywhere you went, you had to go into the bathroom and take a picture and post it, right? Ew. I don't even try to go into public bathrooms. Why the hell I want to be in there taking pictures? Weird. So weird. Dandy, he should have put some walnuts in his back pocket. He's making that face, trying to make sure he's squinting. Could he see? Can I see well enough? Let's see. Look. Look, y'all, I can make it rain. I don't know what that is. Is that rain? Look. I can make a thunderstorm, too. I can make it sparkle. And we can celebrate at the same time. Restream's like, here you go. Here's some weird stuff to play with. I'm gonna go grab my coffee. You guys sit here and enjoy the sparkle and a little mood music. I'll be right back. Alrighty. Okay. I think those sparkles are weird. They kind of mess with my eye. Alright. Witchy has 8 selfies, but none show your face. Riley had a picture of your foot from when you dropped a safe on it. Yuck. Ouch. Ow. I got pictures of the kiddos, Probably most of my photos are nature. It's me sitting in the backyard taking a picture of the sunset because I've got amazing sunsets out here in the country and I live for that. Like it's my favorite thing to do is to sit out back with not a thought in my head watching the sunset. It's like, how can you go wrong? But yeah, lots of sunset photos, birds. I zoom into the trees and take a picture of the pretty bird I hear singing. I'm weird. Butterflies. Me and my grandson will get down and take a photo of the bumblebees. We'll zoom in on weird shit. I can play I Spy with my incredible zoom on my camera too. Y'all wouldn't want to be my neighbors. I don't look in your windows. I'm not no peeping Tom. Picture of your sprained foot. Right? Like if you injure yourself, you may need to send a picture to your sister, or your best friend, or your husband, or your significant other, or whatever. Girl, let's don't even talk about them screenshots. Sunflower. Lord, I've got a. Y'all don't even want to know. It's a bit embarrassing. Can I just tell you, I got over 16,000 screenshots on this Samsung. Why? And I'm going to go ahead and say most are unnecessary. I should probably sit down and take work on that, huh? That sounds like a thing. All right. So as I had mentioned, guys, we got a lot of things to unpack coming up this week with Delphi, and we're going to get into that. Now we're going to get into what's going on with this singer David and 15-year-old Celeste Rivas. We now know that we did a show Thursday, guys, and went over all of the facts. She was reported missing when she was 14 years old. Some accounts say 13, but when she was found, she was 15, just had a birthday like a couple of days or something like that, really close to the time she was found. So she was gone for about a year, reported as a runaway. So never found. Then she turns up deceased and dismembered in this Tesla in an impound yard, or a tow yard rather, not an impound yard, a tow yard. And the car had been towed from the Hollywood Hills, right, up near the Bird Streets. And if you know, you know, that's a pretty exclusive area. Not the kind you just wander around in all willy-nilly. But here we are. What's going on? Well, they had towed the car. The car was there abandoned. We hear different reports of different days, different times a week, days, whatever. About a week this car had been there. There's also reports that this car moved from one spot to another. So the car was found, it was towed away into the tow yard. The employees, after a few days, smell a smell, start to investigate, and there we go. They find this young girl in the trunk of the car. As information was coming out about this body found in the car, TMZ picked up on the description of what was being said about this body. And they knew that matched a description of this missing 15-year-old girl. They're the ones who ended up telling her mother and notifying her about her daughter. And that's weird to me. Totally unacceptable as well. Well, what they did actually was according to them, they contacted LAPD. And they're like, look, we have a description of this girl. And excuse me. And One thing the public didn't know about was the tattoo on her finger with the shh, right, written on her finger. And the victim allegedly had that tattoo. So anyway, they ended up figuring out who this little girl was. And then it came out that this Tesla was owned by this singer named David. That bagel was worth the drive, ma'am. I was going to make me a bagel earlier with some, I like that mixed berry cream cheese spread across it, but I didn't do it yet. So they found her now about a block and a half from where the car was found in Hollywood. We went and took a look at the map the other day and saw where that was at. They ended up searching a home near there. And then it turned out that that home was rented, or leased rather, by David's manager. But David had been living there. And then there's been reports and photos surfaced everywhere of that home and him in the home and Celeste in the home and Celeste hanging out with him, right? On social media as well. They did a live stream together, but y'all didn't know where this child was for a year. Because my question was like, well, where's this poor little girl been for a solid year? Was she held up in a room P. Diddy style? Or what? Apparently she was living large and living her best life on social media and in the presence of others. Now, I don't know if him and her lied about her age to everybody. Do you know what I mean? If they people thought she was older than she was and all the things. Because if I was 18, 19, 20 and I found out this girl sitting in the same room that I'm in is 13 years old and she's doing what over there? 14? You're smoking and drinking what? No, ma'am. I ain't going to jail for the likes of you. Dandy, I've thought about that too. As bad as we're hearing that it was, as bad as I'm hearing that it was, because I'm listening to those details as well. And now we also have speculation. Was this body really dismembered or did it fall apart? How did they, was her skin still intact? Her skin would have to be intact, right? For that to, for them to be able to see that kind of clue and to know it. Where's my, get back here. All right, so let me pull up, okay, get this, okay. All right, let me pull up this about that home being searched. And we took a look at the home, and I went online, I guess it was sometime on Saturday. Oh, I know when it was, on Dear Joe's 5.5 hour live. I was multitasking. I went and looked at the online at that house and trolled around the inside of it. Okay, Celeste, here we go. Let me pull up this. And we're going to talk a little bit more about her mom as well. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sorry. I was like, where is it? Because you're looking in the wrong spot, honey. All right. Okay, so this one is from, I think, News Nation's where I grabbed this from. There was a couple of them talking about it. They're all saying the same things. It's all repetitive, so I'm not going to try to show 50,000 clips of the same thing, right? I'm going to mute while this plays. And this really doesn't, now I think it's this one. There was also news over the weekend that a second body was found, right? Second body in a different location, but also in a tow yard. And the body was also in a vehicle. The second body found was not tied or has not been tied to this singer David, nor his vehicles. And the second body appeared to be burned. Now, that's all I know. I'm not making any determination one way or the other about that bit of information. I'm not connecting them and I'm not disconnecting them. That's just what's out there, and I want you guys to be aware in case you didn't know. I'm probably, at this point, willing to say they probably are not related to each other. It's LA, this big city. Y'all can honestly go to Google or YouTube and put 1980s Los Angeles and bad things happen, police, whatever you want to put, and go look at it. So bad things happen out there all the time. So I'm not surprised. It doesn't floor me, and I'm not blown away by it. There's not a lot in true crime that happens that simply blows me away. To like, what? All right, here we go.
The search at the house, we know what police
Hold on.
we don't know what they actually left with. We know from law enforcement sources what they were looking for and what they did inside the house. You know, they were looking for blood evidence. We're told that the detectives went through the house. There was with luminol, thinking that if whatever happened to Celeste, if she met her demise in the house, they wanted to see if there was any evidence of blood anywhere in the home. So they were using luminol around the house. They were checking drains to see if there's any, blood evidence or, blood or tissue that was in the drains there. So they did a scouring of this house looking for any evidence. Again, we don't know what, if anything, they found, but our law enforcement sources say when they executed this search warrant, that was on the list, a very long list of things they were looking for in that house.
That's very painful to hear, because we know that this body was dismembered and not all parts of this body were recovered. So it would make perfect sense if they were looking to see where that dismembering happened.
Right.
And also, just remind me, this house is being rented by David's manager.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind that David is a very young, he's 20 years old. So from what we've seen as listings, this house is going, $20,000 that it can be rented for $20,000 a month. It is a large home. It's an estate, really. That's not the kind of thing even a famous 20-year-old could do on his own typically. So it is his manager, a guy who is connected to Interscope Records.
Josh Marshall is his name,
Yes.
right?
Yes. So he is the person we found out who was actually on the lease, who was renting this. But again, from all the photos that David has posted, it's very clear he was staying in this home, if not all the time, frequently he was staying there.
Was the focus just on the house, or did they look elsewhere around the property?
They looked around the entire property. There's the house, there's a yard also where they could have searched for.
What about a garage?
Yes, there's a garage there. In fact, I want to say it's a 3-car garage that they went into. They searched there. But
I mean, my mind, being in true crime, goes to Dexter, and garages are often one of the places of choice, for this kind of macabre behavior. Yeah. And then do you have any information on purchasing? Like, was anybody within David's orb purchasing things like the kind of supplies you would need for this kind of an operation? Sometimes the Home Depot, sometimes Walmart. People go in with big cleaning supplies, drop sheets, even tools, that kind of thing. Bleach.
I know where your mind is going, Ashley, and I wish I could say we don't know at this point, but it has been very difficult, I will say, to speak to people in David's orbit, that close friends. As you would imagine, most people are pretty tight-lipped and not willing to say anything at this point because they know what's going on. They know this case has been getting a lot of attention here in LA and growing in the attention it's getting around the country. They know what police are looking for, and so they have not exactly been forthcoming with a lot of information.
Well, you know how that works, Charles.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what you call that music he's into. I don't listen to pop music or any of that stuff, so I could never tell you. I've never been a pop music fan. Everything but the pop music, and not no crazy rap. Old school rap back when it first started, maybe, but I don't know. We're going to take a look at a couple of those TikToks that are out there because let me tell you guys, them TikToks are fun and they're wild, but I don't normally go to TikTok. When I first started, before I started my YouTube channel, I started my TikTok, but I wasn't a TikToker. Does that make sense? Didn't know anything about it. I didn't know all this funky true crime stuff was on the TikToks. I mean, I was learning it was all out there and different things. But I started that TikTok channel for one purpose. And I started it to put out documents in the Idaho 4 case for people to read for themselves without any influence from me and read it. Instead of going to a 5-minute, 2-minute TikTok or a 5-hour live stream and hear somebody scream, make it make sense. What's this word mean? I was like, here you go. And it kind of evolved, and I had a nice little following. And yeah, I don't like the TikTok though. It always was trying to entice me to do these weird things these TikTokers were doing. I'm like, no, that's not what I do. I'm not here just to have a 2-second fun. But some of them uncover actual things. Some uncover garbage. Some regurgitate what they heard somebody else say. We can all find a bunch of pictures and throw them up here and make our comments. We can do that. But so is there some things to a lot of what they have found and uncovered through looking into the social medias of David, right? Because again, how long was this girl in his presence? Was she there the entire year? Now, her mother eluded, so when this first happened, I heard that the mom had told police she was dating a boy named David. Is that all you knew about him? And I can see that. Don't know anything else about him. No last name, no address, no nothing. Then there was a photo that emerged that allegedly shows David standing in Celeste's neighborhood. I looked at the photo. It's a man and another man that looks like David standing in a street. That's the only context I have behind it. Why is he standing in her street? Is it her street? Are they in front of her house? Are they 2 blocks away, 3 miles away? What in the world are we doing here? Kind of get a little context, right? I don't know when the man was in the neighborhood last. Why he was even there. But I have questions for her mother. She got this is an interesting article that I found. Let me get this pulled up because I'm like, what is going on here? And how can we, because apparently when she took off last year, that wasn't the first time that Celeste has done that. So was she prone to run away? Did it just start when she met him? We have one of her teachers have come out, and there's a video of him standing in his classroom with his social media pulled up, talking about this is how Celeste met him and can now preach the dangers. But he knew she had met that guy. Did you know where she might possibly be for a year, sir? And now you're going to preach to a room full of kids about the dangers of the internet and who we meet. Are we seriously going to wait until it's too late to start talking about that? Sit down, sir, with your 5. I need my 15 minutes of fame. I knew him. I knew her. I don't applaud the people who come out to grab their 5 minutes because they knew somebody. So going to let me read this article. Okay. So the name, this is Hindustan Times. I don't even know where this is at. I haven't heard of it. This was September 20th, 2025. Now, this is what a source close to Celeste's mother said. The family was aware of her involvement. Now, again, this is a source close to the mother. So we don't know if it's true or not. Ew. The body of a 15-year-old girl identified as Celeste Rivas was found in the trunk of a car belonging to rising music artist David on September 8th. Now, guys, he wasn't like, P. Diddy kind of famous. He was a Spotify. He had like millions of viewers on Spotify. He was very famous, right? An Indian newspaper, Dolphin says. I thought that it was. So he was like a rising up and coming star. He just released his debut album, I believe it was. He was currently on tour, which has now been canceled. So she was reported missing in April of 2024, and her family has made several social media appeals for help. The posts were later taken down. Why? A source close to Celeste's mother told the outlet that the family was aware of her involvement with David Burke, professionally known as David, D4VD. The source said, I still don't know a lot, but I don't... Sorry, there was a noise, like trucks out there. All right. The source said, I still don't know a lot, but I don't understand why the police didn't do more. The police and possibly you, I don't know. I'm still evaluating the situation. For a period, Celeste came back home by herself and stayed with her mom, but the police weren't involved. So during this time, that 1 year that she was gone, she ended up going back home for a minute with her mom and then left again, according to the source. Why didn't they ask her, where were you? Are you okay? I don't know when she came back, but then she disappeared again and went back to him. Was anybody asking her, where were you? Are you okay? Is she just a rebellious little girl? I'm not telling y'all nothing. The source also claimed that someone had contacted Celeste's mother, urging her to stop searching. What in the world? I know someone called her mom and said, stop looking for her, she's fine. They told the family to take down the social media post about her being missing. So did the family just say okay and did that? And that's the end of that article. Pretty much it remains unclear who the caller was or whether they had any connection to David, who called to say stop looking for her. I wonder if that's... I looked for different interviews with her mom. If y'all see any out there, Dolphin, let me know. Because I was looking to see if she's made any kind of official statement. Has any local affiliates been able to interview her? Did a local news station snag an interview? Like Jen Soto down there, Fox 35 Orlando. Hannah McKenzie, shout out. Which, ma'am, if you can come back to our neck of the woods, we would love it, but whatever. I don't know. So I looked for interviews for her because I want to hear more of what this mother has to say. You know what I mean? How much did she know about this guy, David? And how far did her daughter's involvement go with this guy? Is what I'm... Apparently, they go way back or went way back. And I don't know, obviously we don't have a cause of death. So we don't know I mean, I think I can still pay for it. I think they'll let us pay for it. It says they will. But anyway, we don't know the cause of death. Like, and that matters to me. And I only mean that in, was it drug overdose? Was she strangled? Was she beaten? Was she tortured? There's a lot of questions, right, as to what caused her death. We can get to the why once we figure out the how. The why may never make sense to us, because I don't think killing anybody makes sense, right? That's never going to be the answer. It might be temporarily in the moment, right, Mickey? That emotional disturbance thing could happen, but on the normal, on the regular. So let's look at this. Okay, and so that was the article about stop looking for her. Now, if you were a mother of a missing child or a runaway, and you get a message like that, are you going to stop looking? Are you going to take down your social media? I mean, does it depend on your relationship with your child? I don't know her mother to make any assertions about her, or I'm not making any accusations, but not all moms care. Some will go to the ends of the earth and back to try to find their baby. Some might just go to the bar and forget about it. I don't know. I don't know which situation I have here. A frustrated mom who couldn't control her daughter, or it just is what it is. Who knows? Now, like I said, we don't know much more about that second body that was found. All right, let me, yeah, Dolphin Jen Soto. We can't get away from that heifer. She will always come to mind. And these are the red flags, women, mothers. I can't control him or her. I'm jealous of him or her. Don't let this be a Woody Allen situation. Like, what in the world's wrong with you people? Not you guys, but y'all know what I mean when I say stuff like that. We are flying the red flags over here. Yeah, Dandy. Rumors about them being here illegally. Yeah, who does that even matter, right? Is anybody here legally or illegally anymore, right? It comes up when things come up. But in my true crime brain, I don't even know if that matters to me. I'll let the people who that matters to sort that sort of thing out. But does that play a part in why her mom won't speak out, right, publicly? Is she scared she'll get deported or whatever it is that happens? I don't get into the politics and what all goes on. I couldn't tell y'all what none of it's called. Jen Soto only cared to the extent of what other people may have thought of her. I don't even, Forrest, did she even care what we thought about her parenting? She didn't have any parenting. Shit, that went back to her husband who had the daughter himself, right? He had a daughter just barely older than Maddie. He even said back then Jen couldn't parent, wouldn't parent, didn't want to parent. It was too much. Called him, when you coming home? I need you to leave work and school and come home and take care of both these girls, because I need to go get my good sleep. And Maddie was less than 6 years old at the time. I didn't do nothing wrong. I'm just sleeping all the time, people. I got mental illness. It wasn't my fault. I was duped by the Stephon Sterns of it all. Well, ma'am, how about come and educate women just like yourself on what to watch for in the future so that it doesn't happen again? I showcased a mother, a week or two ago, who embraced the man who killed her daughter at a red light on accident because he was drinking and driving. Helped get him out of prison early, takes him on tour with her around the nation to educate about the dangers of drinking and driving. Something constructive, right? Versus throw him in the prison, let him waste away for 22 years while I sit in misery. Huh, Jen? Misery likes company, though, baby girl. She's all down deep in it. Her diamonds are on the ground. We can't help you now, ma'am. I can't take no more diamonds on the floor. I love that song. Okay, what did I do with... Let me see. How long did anybody see any reports of how long that dude lived in that house? We know it was leased by the manager, right? But I don't know when they actually signed a lease on that house. Y'all, not my sinuses, I guess like allergy type stuff. They were out here all weekend long harvesting these peanut fields. And I'm like, seriously, y'all messing up my weekend in the yard. And I got peanut dust everywhere. It's all over my table outside. It got all over me. The next thing I know, my nose is going crazy. I'm coughing a little bit. I'm like, ugh. I'll be glad when they're done. Okay, look at the backyard. This is the house. Again, we looked at the map of where the house was located and where the car was found and all those things. We had seen images in the news last week of the home being searched. Then we finally got the address, and which my nosy self was looking for that. Like, that's what I wanted. Now, for 20 grand, I'm not really, I like the privacy a little bit, but we got power lines and we got an odd shape right here. I'm not digging. The lines kind of bother me. If I had 20 grand, I'd be like, can I see something else, please? Because this feels weird. That's just me. I get it. That's cute. I like a little nice sitting area. This is definitely a 3-car garage. I wanted to correct him. Look, there's a camera there, guys, and there's one more. I know there's one here, and there's one up here, right, on the upper left. When you're down on the ground level of the map, you can see these cameras. Don't know when those cameras were installed, how long they've been there. So will we see this black car coming and going from the garage, the Tesla? Can it pick up, these streets are super tiny. So was the car parked out there in front of the home? Does it see Celeste coming and going from the homes? How long did the security cameras even work? Jesus, you live in Hollywood in an expensive house. I hope your cameras work. Okay, that's a tiny fireplace for a big room and a big wall. Just saying. It's open to this side. Kind of a small kitchen, but okay. Some little greenery on the side in case you got a dog or a baby who wants to play. Okay, sexy little staircase with some art. A dated bathroom with the black dark counter. Now, some people are into that. I'm like 1990-ish looking, but yeah. So there's the house, guys. Now, of course, he wasn't paying for the house. We hear that his manager was, but we also hear there was a lot of people in and out of there. A lot of parties. There were some other big name stars that he collaborated with on music, right? They're backing away from him publicly now. They're like taking down their videos that they did with him, taking down any social media posts where they were hanging out with him or their presence inside that home. They're taking all that down from their social medias. I don't know who all he's collaborated with. In my mind, it doesn't matter to me. I don't know them people no way because that's not my genre, so I don't follow it. I don't care who he sang a song with. That doesn't matter to what happened to Celeste, right? I can go on and on and on about these famous people partying in the house and throw their names out there for God and everybody, or I can say Celeste over and over and over. There's homes are, if these walls could talk, you know those houses have seen a lot of things over the years. And it ain't all been pretty, right? And glamorous. It just hasn't been. They're messy just like the rest of us, honestly, right? I feel you. I'm like, I can't. I need space. I gotta walk outside and see space. It'll get me claustrophobic, and I'll get that anxiety settling in. All right, let me go grab this stuff. I'll be right back. Oops, don't go there. There's still not a lot of information out there, guys, as far as being able to report anything concrete, right? Other than the facts that we already know, that this child was reported missing a year ago. She turns up dismembered, allegedly, in the back of this singer's car. Authorities, they haven't come out and made any kind of official statement. They haven't done a press conference. They haven't made any arrest. Doesn't mean they're not working on it, but it means we don't know what they're doing, right? Got to keep it close to the chest just in case. Got to keep what? What are we trying to keep close, right? All right, let me see if... Now, I'm going to have to be careful. Here's why I'm not playing a lot of stuff, because I got in big time trouble. I did not get a channel strike, but man, did I get in trouble. My whole show got derailed. I am still working in the background trying to clean that shit up so people can see my video, can see the live stream, because people like this guy want to holler about some copyright rights and stuff. Their name, their image, their namesake, their songs, their lyrics. Y'all are a little too much for yourselves sometimes, celebrities and people who don't want to be talked about. I get it. I wouldn't want to be talked about all over the internet either, but I don't want to put myself into a position where that might happen one day. Because then I got to turn around and ask myself, you fool, how did you get here? Own it. Go blame everybody else for it instead. All right, so I was looking to see if I had... No, that's not the one I want to show because that's irrelevant as hell. Well, hold on one second. Okay, so he actually has a TikTok too. These crazy screens don't want to cooperate sometimes. Why do y'all do this? All right. You know what? Do I even have that on here where I can... It's easier to do it this way. One moment. Right. Don't put yourself out there if you don't want to be talked about, right? Oh, goodness. Okay, here's one, I think. How do I... Let me... Okay, maybe this will work. Sorry guys, to get it to play on Restream the way I need it to, I have to go through a couple of steps. I can't just grab it off where I had it on the PC because it won't work right. Okay. Here we go. Oh goodness, maybe I shouldn't have opened up the Twitter pages. Maybe I should have stayed off them Twitter streets for a minute. Okay, I don't know where this girl got her information. So I found it funny. Something about if this guy gets charged, is he setting himself up for an insanity thing? I'm like, what? Because he wrote some deranged song lyrics. Hell, people have been analyzing song lyrics since, I don't know, forever. They had whole Senate hearings in the 1980s about song lyrics and labels and warnings because we're all crazy. So here we go. Let's see what, I don't know who she is. No shade, I don't know her, but here's what she says.
Charged, will he be pleading insanity, and has he been setting it up for that the entire time with this alter ego that he calls a Tommy?
Tommy's like not in me, but like in me, like, you feel me, like, you know, when you get like possessed.
You know that David started a
He said he's possessed, y'all, by this thing.
Tour on July 30th of 2025, and that is when he started introducing these funeral elements into his show, which is the beginning of this tour that was called Withered. At these shows, David was making fans pay respects to Atami, which is his alter ego when he's blindfolded. The dates of Atami are 2023, which lines up perfectly when he first met Celeste in person. The first time that they were seen on stream together was in 2023. It's guesstimated that that's when they first met in person. And as we all know, her body was found the day after her 15th birthday, which was September 8th of 2025. The car that she was found in had been parked in the same spot for 3 to 4 weeks, and then on top of that, with the heat in LA and the decomp, now this is not verified, but a guesstimation would be another couple weeks that she was gone with, you know, how things are looking with the body. So that would put us.
I wonder if the one of the things the cops should be working on, honestly, is trying to pinpoint the last time she was seen by anybody, because you can bet they're interviewing people in his realm, right, to find out where this girl has been. If they're doing their jobs, they should be. And when was the last time somebody actually saw her? Do they have any of her phone records? Did she have a phone that he gave her?
Around July 28th to like August 5th, and guess what? Not only does that timeline perfectly match up with their alleged relationship 2023 to August 2025, but it's also public record that David had some time off, 2 days in California, in Del Mar. That was on August 2nd to August 5th, and Del Mar is only 2 hours away from the Hollywood Hills where that car was found. Now, this first video I'm going to show you is one of the most disturbing ones that I think more people should be talking about, because it kind of explains this whole Atami thing, and well, let's just get into this part first.
Should I say a separate part of me indulges himself in the thorns, dousing himself in the blood of his own negligence without even vetting the misleading beauty. Wearing a blindfold only to escape his self-made hell, accountable only to pain. I have placed this part of me throughout this project in different areas of melody, lyrics, and delivery. You'll feel it when you get there. Follow me now through this journey of holding a rose petal by petal until they fall short. And I have no choice but to catch it by the thorns.
So I think he was very much
Okay, could be considered deranged or considered art, depends on who you freaking ask.
telling on himself there. In a lot of his interviews, he talks about he writes songs about things, and then that's what his life becomes. Obviously, he's fantasizing about these things and then kind of working them into his real life. He went on the Zach Sang show, and he had a little bit more to say about what or who Atami is.
Tommy is the villain of this album. He's the one that is making me withered and feel all these emotions like grief and pain and confusion. He's the one that is weaving his way into my relationships and ruining them. And
weaving his way into relationships and ruining them? You mean that boyish part of you ain't ready to let go of and become a man? That alter ego my ass.
Inducing trauma and things like that. You see him in the music videos and stuff.
Now, Tommy is depicted in many of his music videos, most notably Romantic Homicide, which is a song about unaliving a girl and basically her ending up in the same condition that Celeste was found in his trunk. There's also an anime version of this. I'm going to show you guys both clips so you can see here. This is like the version that's in the original music video, which was released on her 13th birthday.
Oh Lord, I got to take that down. Guys, I will go to TikTok. If you got TikTok, go to TikTok. Me getting, he's not worth it. All right. It's already a struggle on these YouTube streets sometimes to get your show out there and all the things. I'm not about to get another strike because I showed a little bit of that guy's stuff to a few minutes too long. He ain't worth it to me. All the information's out there. All the TikToks are out there. I'm not going to play all those TikToks. There's a lot of them. I learned quickly during the Idaho 4 case. I don't know what some of them TikTokers are doing. Like, except putting something out there that's going to get a few gifts thrown their way. It's all about those clicks and views, just like it is on YouTube. So don't think TikTokers are any different. We saw some messy stuff go down with TikTok in Idaho 4 that really turned me off. That's why I'm so careful out here on these social media streets. Celeste's birthday? When you're talking about 12 or 13th. All I know from reports, this girl went missing a year ago. So she should have been 14 if she's 15 now. Her birthday was literally a day or two before she was found. So if she's been gone a year, she was 14. But there are news reports saying she was 13. How long had this child been running away? Since the age of 10, 11, 12? Which time we talking about when she ran off last? Are we counting from that day forward? Is how long she's been gone? There's a lot, I feel like, that wasn't right in this girl's home life that lent itself to her to be able to go do these things she wanted to go do. Some kids are just going to slap out, be rebellious no matter what their parents do. I had kids I knew that had amazing parents and just shit all over them for no reason because they wanted to, right? Can happen. It can happen. And then there's times that, what in the world is happening around my house? I'm hearing noises, guys. It might be my son. I hope it's my son. They're coming in the house now. His schedule changed. Let me peek. I might need to. Yeah, it was. His schedule changed and I'm having to get used to it. I'm not used to him being home on Mondays or coming in on me on a Monday. I'm like, nobody's here. Yeah, Butterfly, there's one of the links to the TikTok. And what you can go in over there and hashtag them and David or Celeste Rivas. Her TikTok, if you go to TikTok and you type in her name, a lot of different things come up, right? Especially in the Instagram is the same way. I've seen what's out there on Instagram and Facebook and the TikTok. I wouldn't be doing my due diligence if I wasn't out there seeing what's out there. I've also been over there looking at all the stuff floating around out there in the Mickey Stein's case, and that's way more interesting right now. Not that Celeste's case isn't, because it is. She deserves answers for what happened to her, but I'm gonna have to wait a minute on more things to come out, right? But if I want to go to social media and find out what's being said about the going over in Kentucky, there's a lot of that out there as well that's worth taking a look at, which we're going to be unpacking and doing. So tomorrow, guys, we're not going to be on here terribly long today. Like I said, there wasn't a ton of updates in any of those cases, but I didn't start Delphi today because I wanted to get to the little unpacking of the updates on what we knew about Celeste so far, because we covered it at the end of the week. a little bit about the social media with Steins and the Koberger leaks, because tomorrow I'm going to be devoting the show to Delphi, and we are going to unpack the deposition of Beholder. Tomorrow the name will be said because it's going to be read out of a document. I'm not afraid to say the names. It's nothing to do with that. It's just SBH. If you know, you know. You already know who I'm talking about. One of the alternate suspects that never was allowed to be talked about in court. Now, yeah, I know, over in Idaho, Ann's alt perps went nowhere, and rightfully so. She got her Frank's motion read by the judge and all the things. Delphi was a completely different story. Completely different story. So the deposition that I want to take a look at is important to me. I need to find out what this guy said so I can compare, and because I'm still making up my mind about some things. You what? Oh. Yeah, a minor can easily be swayed by money and fame. Of course. They live to look like what Instagram tells them they should look like. Kind of like society telling women and men, hey, you need a partner, you're supposed to want it, you're da-da. Okay. Trick me again with your word trickery. Beholder is an interesting, so interesting, so interesting. He says, does this hat trigger you? You think I'm the murderer? Well, now that you mention it, the resemblance is uncanny. You cannot deny it, sir. And yeah, your hat does trigger me a little bit because you coming out here making fun of it. The song was released in 2022 on her birthday. Yeah, because he knew her before she went missing. That's incredibly clear. Now the song Celeste was never released. It wasn't released on this album. That, from what I've heard, that song was leaked on the media and written about her allegedly. So he's out there writing songs about her. He's writing crazy ass lyrics. He's becoming obsessed with death. He has this alter ego. You know, we're going to have mental illness here in a second. We keep it up. We're going to have mental illness here in just a minute, which means he cannot be held accountable for what he did. And then I'm going to have to come in and say, well, you know, y'all claim this is all art, right? We can do weird stuff in the name of art. I don't get it. Weirdo stuff. Everything's weird. What reality do we live in? Let me see if I can find something really quick. Yeah, he had to have met her around the time of 11 Sunflower, right? If you go by what's being reported. When these songs come out, when this was done, when that was done, when she was reported missing, all the things, it appears she at least knew of him by the time she was 11 years old. And I'm sorry, my 11-year-old daughter ain't fixing to run off with some singer she met on the Instagram and me not go find her. Whatever. Don't even come at me with all the reasons why that wouldn't work, Salty. Watch it. I'm about to take my ass down to the jail once I get through beating the out of my kid and tell him exactly what I did. But I guess some people are, you know, if you're a timid type of person and you don't have no balls, you might just sit back on the couch and, oh, well, my baby ran off. I hope they come back one day. I'll pray that they're going to be okay tonight and got a safe place to sleep and something to eat. Ooh, do I have it in here? Let me see. No, but I forgot that I had that. Oh, wow. I got to get my stuff together here, guys. She was a child, Rachel. Exactly. Regardless, she was 11 years old. You're a child. I mean, you're 10 one minute, the next you're 11. You're not grown. You're not close. When you're 15, you're not grown. You might think you are for a minute, but we all know we ain't. No matter what we thought at 15, we now know as adults we were nowhere near grown at 15. Some people had to grow up fast and take care of themselves. I get it, all the things, but on average, 15-year-old girls should be at home being 15-year-old girls. But no, we're going to go live large and sexy on the Instagram and live these fake-ass lives where everything is beautiful. Everything. My fake hair, my fake eyelashes, and all this stuff these influencing people going to mail me to, makeup and hair stuff. I don't know. It just gives a false image. So have those talks with your children, you know what I mean? About what they see and consume and what's real and what isn't. Because you don't want your child to be so influenced like that and become unhappy at home if you're trying to provide a good life for them and they're like, oh, but this life over here, he says he can give me this, that he loves me too. A lot of 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old girls don't want to hear mama. You hear those horror stories. Oh, my daughter's rebelling. She hates me. We have a horrible relationship. I never had that with my mom. I could walk in the room and tell her anything I wanted to. I may not always like her response, but hey, we're getting it done. I didn't have that contemptuous relationship with my mom because society said I was supposed to. So I didn't think I needed to have those with my kids. It's too easy to say, well, they're just being rebellious teens. Y'all know how it is. They don't listen. I don't know what y'all are doing at home, but it ain't what I'm doing. Young adults are still children. Well, yeah. I was 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25 at one time myself. I knew right from wrong at 18 years old. I knew it before then. I had a child at 21 years old. I was a full-fledged adult. May not have knew everything, but I was an adult. People need to keep an eye on your babies. Know what they're doing. Be aware who they're talking to, what they're consuming out there in these crazy times we live in. We could preach that until the cows come home, couldn't we? It has to start at home at some point. And I think that's just a given. With the history of time, people shouldn't have to be reminded. Like, what? Why we gotta be reminded? There was a little short video I was watching out over the weekend. This guy's like, were y'all really told to go home when the street lights come on? The lady said, were we told to come home when the street lights came on? Shit, we had the 10 o'clock news reminding parents they had children. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are? And you're like, oh shit, where's them babies at? That was a thing back in the day when there had a lot of crimes starting to occur with kids, right? And wanting kids to be at home when it's safe past 10 o'clock at night. It's always different nowadays, Dandy, right? I mean, you hear that over and over. It's different. It is. I was born in the late 60s, raised in the 70s. It was different. I was a teenager in the 80s. It was different. I was a mother in the 90s. It was different. It's always going to evolve and be a different time, but the sad part is we don't get better or safer because these crazies find better ways to get to what they want. And unfortunately, our kids can sometimes be the target of what they want. So again, I don't care if you're 18, 21, 25. Know right from wrong, and who should not be looking at your baby sideways. Now, if you're the kind of girl that goes, oh my God, they're all looking at me. Do I look good? Is my hair? And your 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old sitting there watching you, you're adjusting your tits. How's that ass look? Is it good? As good as Kohberger's? What's going on here? That baby's sitting there watching. Do that when the babysitter has them and you're going out on the town with your girlfriends. Do it then. That's my advice. I know, Sunflower. Thank God, right? I wouldn't know how to go out back right now and sit this phone down and enjoy the birds if I didn't do that growing up, because I didn't have a choice. Get your ass in that house. Get outside and don't come back in till it's dark. And if you're thirsty, you know where the water hose is. Get out there and play cops and robbers with your stick guns. Wow. Look, my sister had a baby as a young girl. I didn't. But we both knew right from wrong, people. Jesus, we had the same parents. We had the same parents. We were taught the same things. We were taught how to raise the kids. Me and my sister should have done what, we all should have done what we did. But we did. Even though she was a younger mother than I did, she knew. But these days, you got 16-year-olds having babies who don't know. Because is someone not taking the time with them? Are they not? There's so many different things. So many things. All we can do is make sure of what goes on in our homes, right? How we raise our kids, how we talk to them, how open and honest do we want to be with our kids about things. Because I feel like I've got 4 kids, all different ages. But the more honest I've been with them about the ways of the world, it seems to work better than not talking to them at all and just throwing down some rules, right? Here's the rules, and that's the end of the story. Yeah, get outside and find something fun to do. We didn't care. We looked like, no, we didn't. We just got out there. And don't be wearing them school clothes. You better have on them darn play clothes. Better have on them play clothes, darn it. No seat belts. None at all. And them big cars with them gigantic back seats. You could fit, 10, 15 kids back there? Everybody hold on, hope for the best. Hold on. And here, what's this Ralph Nader guy coming out of nowhere talking about we need seatbelts in cars and we're having Senate hearings on seatbelts in cars? Yeah, that was a thing. Yeah, look, I love living out in the country. I got so sick of living in town during the lockdown. Even though it was a lot quieter on the streets, it was still, to me, too much noise pollution that I don't like. Light pollution everywhere, just jumbling up my brain. So I'm blessed to get to live where I live. It's not like that. I can go outside and just be at peace, which I'm about to go do, guys. Y'all come back and join us tomorrow. We'll probably run around, 9:30, 10 a.m., somewhere along there. If you're interested in the Delphi case, come on in and join us. Unpack it. This is not a free Rick Allen show. It's not a they got the right guy show. I don't know. I understand there was a trial, a confession, a trial, a guilty verdict. I get it. I was there for all of it, but I still don't know. Because this is the investigation to unpack if you want to unpack an investigation. If I want to spend hours and days reading police investigatory reports, it's not Brian Kohberger's over Delphi's. It's just not. The Kohberger stuff's interesting and cool, but I've always believed they had the right guy in that case. I'm not so sure about Delphi, so I want to unpack this stuff. I hope you guys want to come unpack it with me and make up your own mind. Like I said, it's not a show about guilt or innocence for me. And I don't want anybody come to the show thinking that's what they're going to get or expecting that's what you're going to get, because I honestly don't know. Will I throw shade? Of course. My name is Salty. I can't help myself. I can't help it. Thank you all for coming in. I appreciate all of you guys for being here. Thank you, and joining the conversation. We will keep an eye on the cases we're following and see what happens overnight, guys. If anything pops off, there might be breaking news right now. I wouldn't know. I'm not trolling the streets looking for it. I'm going to go grab some lunch and some relaxation. Rachel will be here with us tomorrow, the mod team as usual, unless they have something scheduled outside they got to take care of tomorrow. Otherwise, they'll be with us. Look forward to all you guys. Keep an eye out for the show. Go over and subscribe if you want. Become a member if you'd like. We do have some members-only content. We're going to be making more of that really soon. And with that said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a good one.
Thank you all for watching this here video. Please like and subscribe and follow. Much love from Little Yas.